everybody, it's Chris Eads, and on the line is Wootini, another gay gamer video podcast for you. This week, I went to see Project Hail Mary, because I also want to see Ready or Not 2, but that can wait a week, because I wanted to see Project Hail Mary in IMAX, so it could be super awesome, because I know that it was shot with IMAX in mind, and it's formatted for IMAX, so yeah. Basically, this and I liked it. I tend to like Ryan Gosling movies in spite of Ryan Gosling. I've never quite understood the charm. I find him off-putting. But like in some other movies I've seen him in, he's well cast because the character is meant to be kind of off-putting and arrogant and annoying, and then kind of grows and you're like, okay, you're not so bad after all, I suppose. So it works. And the movie is actually, I really enjoyed it. Basically, he is this scientist who's been working as a science teacher who wakes up on a spaceship all alone and has to try to recover his memories to figure out, like, you know, what the hell he's doing there and why. And so, like, all of the basically the present day stuff in space on the spaceship and everything, that's IMAX, big IMAX format. And then when he flashes back to the past and setting up this mission to space, that's normal, widescreen. And basically the sun is dying and he needs to go and figure out a way to fix it. But of course things go horribly wrong. But then he meets a friend when an alien spaceship pulls up alongside, and they work together to save both of their planets. That is the mission. Of course, things go wrong. You know, they have a plan and then things go wrong. But it's great. And it's based on a book by Andy Weir who did The Martian. So if you liked The Martian, you'll like this. This is obviously, you know, it has some of that like hard science in there, but there's also lots of more fantastical sci-fi elements that, you know, it's more fun and it's less serious. And Ryan Gosling is actually not bad, but the real star of the movie is Rocky, the alien, who is fabulous. Great character, absolutely delightful. I even cried at the end. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. I got all misty. So it's a great sci-fi adventure, terrific special effects. If you have any interest in seeing it, see it on as big a screen as possible, IMAX if possible, to get that full effect. But as long as it's on a big screen, because it's Amazon MGM, but if you wait for it to stream on Amazon at home, it's not going to be as cool and awesome and impressive on your television, unless you have a giant television that fills your entire wall, which I don't think most people do. As for games, Crimson Desert came out last week, which, as you know, I was intrigued by it and paying attention to some videos and stuff, and I was impressed. It seemed very ambitious. I was curious what the reviews were going to be like, and it turns out the reviews are decidedly mixed. Basically, everyone seems to agree that it looks gorgeous, and it's exploring this world. It's just a beautiful world to explore. But the gameplay, it tries to do too many things. Like, there's RPG, there's action, there's puzzles, there's sim elements, there's everything. And it's trying to do too much, so it's not really very good at any one thing. And then also the story is apparently like super generic and lame, as are the performances and the characters and stuff. So, womp womp. But I mean, this was never something I was going to buy at launch anyway. I mean, I'm in the middle of Ghost of Yotei anyway, but I was never going to buy this at launch because it's like, it's too ambitious, and there's clearly going to be like a gajillion bugs. A bunch of reviewers complained about bugs that like sent them back to have to redo entire quests and stuff. So this is the kind of game, these big open world games, you want to give it like a month to help, so they can like patch out some of the like worst bugs before you start to play it. But having seen some reviews and everything, I'm sort of, I don't even think this is something that I would buy like for $8 on sale, like in 6 months or a year. This is totally something where if it was free on PlayStation Plus for a monthly game, I would add it to my library and I would check it out and see. Because I don't think that I would like it, but I might. So I don't know, but I don't know if I want to spend actual money on it, even like $7 or $8. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not in the market for a new game right now. I'm not even in the market for a DLC because they officially announced that Starfield is coming to PlayStation 5. There are no more Xbox exclusives. It is coming to PlayStation 5 on April 7th, and on that day, I mean, granted, it's going to be $50, which isn't a bad price, except I got it for $35, although I had to buy an Xbox at the time, so that kind of, it would have been cheaper to wait for the $50. That would have been a cheaper total, but then I couldn't play Rock Band. But it's coming out on that date with another paid DLC and then also some free DLC. Now, I didn't buy the first paid DLC, so I'm not interested in the second one. But I was like, oh, free DLC, like free quests and stuff. But the main gist of this new DLC update is they're adding like actual space travel, because in Starfield, when you travel from, like most of these space RPGs, when you travel from like system to system, you're basically fast traveling through a warp or whatever. But then once you're in a system, just traveling from planet to planet, you're also still fast traveling. It's not like No Man's Sky where you can fly from one to the other and you see it and you go to it and there you go and it's all in one thing. But they're apparently changing it so that it will be like that now. And you can fly around from planet to planet. You can like set your course and you can get up, walk around your spaceship and then go back and whatever. And you'll have like random encounters as you fly around. And I'm just like, I don't want that. Because I spent as little time in my spaceship as possible. I actually appreciated the fast travel because I didn't want to get stuck in space. Because I hate the space combat and I don't want to have to deal with that. So the only thing that I'm curious about is what the new quests might be. But, I mean, there's so many quests. That Starfield had so many quests. There's no... I mean, if you tried to do them all, it would take you forever. I mean, I played that game for like, I don't know, like 100 hours. And there were entire quest lines that I was like, I'm not going to do those. I'm going to do these. I'll leave those. I'm not going to bother with those. You know, and I could still go and do them. So I'm like, I don't know if I need more new quests. I can't imagine they'd be that interesting that I'd be like, ooh, let me boot up my Xbox and load up Starfield again and go back and explore some space. I can't imagine they'd be that interesting, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye out and see if there's any articles when it drops in April. I have enough to play. I've still been playing Fitness Boxing 3. Not as much as I probably should be or want to, but it's hard to get motivated in the morning because I sweat too much. I can't. It's not like Ring Fit or Wii Fit where you can play it like after work. Like when I play Fitness Boxing, I sweat, so then I have to take a shower. And I don't want to play it after work and then have to take another shower. I just want to play it in the morning and just take one shower, you know? But it's funny because I did play it this morning and discovered that they also have Easter hats. Which look ridiculous. I don't know what other kind of Easter hats they have, but this little Easter bonnet looked really ridiculous on him. And then another thing that I discovered when I was poking on their menu, I was looking to do a box and bond session with my trainer and stumbled upon Tai Chi. So there's apparently Tai Chi, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I looked it up, and apparently, like, when they added this new trainer, they also added all these hats and things, and they also added Tai Chi. So I was like, let me give it a try and see. And like they have another trainer that sits down so that you can do it sitting down if you want, or you can do it standing, whichever you can handle. The thing is that I was like, how are they gonna? There's no movement of it's very slow. So how are they gonna track you? And immediately he's like, I'm not gonna track you with the Joy-Cons, so don't worry about it. And I should have put them down, but I didn't because I was taking screenshots. And you just do some Tai Chi movements, and it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, I wasn't doing them very well. It's not. I mean, maybe if I try it a few more times, I'll actually figure out the movements and how to do them properly. But it doesn't really like teach it to you. It's just like, here's what you do this, do that, and then you just do it. And you don't get a score or anything. It doesn't count towards your monthly points or anything. It's just for fun. And it's relaxing, I guess. I don't know if it's actually, like, good for fitness, but it was alright. It was interesting that they included it anyway. I've also did not play a lot of Infinity Nikki again because it's the second update. I've just been exchanging with Allison. There's nothing to do until they do the new update, which is probably coming in another week or two. I don't know. I haven't seen any announcements about it, but it's let me play some more Disney and Yotei. Because with Disney, I did actually finish the Star Path, so that's done. There's actually only one more week of routine duties left, so I'll do those like on Wednesday or Thursday, and then we're done with the Star Path entirely. And then they haven't announced a date for the new update or details, but I did see the other day that they are now teasing it's Pocahontas is the new update. So we'll see how she translates to 3D, because some of the characters, the 2D animated characters, they don't always translate well into 3D, but we'll see how she does. I also still need to finish Lady's Friendship Quests. I should probably do that this week before the new update. I did finish Tramps because I wanted his outfit, so that was nice. But it's been great to be able to not play those as much so I can really dive into Yotei, because I have been enjoying exploring this world. The problem that I've had is it's too much. I wanted that, listening ability for, hearing the enemies when you're in stealth mode. So I go up into Tejia Ridge to try to do the Kitsune quest, where you will learn the listening ability as part of the Kitsune quest. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But then while up there, I got these upgrade materials, and then it was like, you can upgrade your katana and your dual katana and your everything. And I'm like, okay. So I head back to my house and I upgrade my weapons. And then for whatever reason, I didn't go back there. I went to someplace else entirely. And then I was like, oh, let me just, do this real quick before I go back. And then it just starts off a whole side quest nonsense exploring waste of time. It's not a waste of time because it's super fun and you do get upgrades and stuff. But I was like, oh, let me do this. I was like, I needed money, so I was like, let me go and do this bounty. And then when I went to do the bounty, I was like, okay, while I'm here in this area, there's also a painting here that I can do, and then there's an altar over here that I can do, and then, oh, there's a shrine right here. Let me go do the shrine. Oh, but there's an occupied fishing village in the middle of the way. Maybe I can get around it. And I'm like, well, I'll just free the fishing village right now. Who cares? I have time. I had enough time before dinner. I was like, let me just free the fishing village and then whatever. And then I was like, oh, but here's a cave that I can't get into because you need bomb. It looks like you have to blow it up. And I'm like, oh, and I heard explosions in the distance. And I'm like, oh, right, the bomb maker is right around here. So I went and I met her and I learned how to throw the scorch bombs, which is great. They're very helpful. And then I did the shrine. And then I'm like, okay, I need to get back to Teshia Ridge and the Kitsune quest because I need to do that quest. The problem is, and I know I said that I love the way that it's not like a list of quests and it's very map based and and I like that because it is more organic to explore and everything. It feels more natural. But what it means is that I end up getting sidetracked from the main quest and I'm running around, I'm doing all this stuff, and I found out how to throw the kunai, which are these great little throwy daggers that are great for staggering enemies. And doing all these things, I went to a hot spring to upgrade my health, my base health, and then there were these weird fox statues all around, and I'm like, what are these? And I'm like, oh, it's a puzzle. And I figured it out, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you do this, and you do that, and you do this, and yay! And it opened a door, and I said, oh, treasure! So I go inside, and I'm working my way through this tunnel, and there was one treasure box that had nothing interesting in it, and I'm like, well, maybe the treasure's all the way down at the very end of the tunnel. So I go all the way down to the very end of the tunnel, where there is not treasure. It opens up into a Ninetales hideout, and I was like, mother. So while I was there, I was like, I might as well just kill them all and empty out the hideout and call it a day. And then you get some rewards and stuff at the end of that. But like, I was just like, I need to get back on the main quest, because I was like, where am I supposed to learn the listening ability? And like, I've been running all over the place, and I was like, what is going on? So I actually looked it up online, and it's part of the actual Kitsune quest. So I was like, oh, I need to go back and find the little yellow flower on the map and go there and do that quest and do the main Kitsune story quest in order to find it. So I did that, did a whole bunch of main story missions, getting a little sidetracked here and there. And then, you know, it climaxed with this big fight with the samurai fighting the Ninetales. There's explosions going off, and you're running around slashing your way through it, avoiding the explosions. And then you end up in the burning dojo, facing off in a duel with the Kitsune. And like, I was kicking his ass. And then there's a twist. And then, which kind of got spoiled when I was Googling who teaches you the listening ability. Oops. So that kind of got spoiled. But I think now, like last night I was playing it, and I'm like right at the point where I should do this final battle and get the listening ability, hopefully, I think. So, but I also then got distracted because I was like, ooh, what's that lighthouse? You know, it's not good for, I can't, you know, I get very distracted in these games. I cannot stay on the path. But I should have the listening ability next episode. Fingers crossed. See you then. Bye!